In the serene setting near the river Ganga, where the gentle flow of water whispered tales of old, lived a woodcutter named Vansh. He was known for his quick temper, which often isolated him from his community and left him misunderstood by those around him. Vansh spent his days laboring in the forests near the river, where the cool breeze mingled with the scent of wet earth. Despite his hard work, he felt unappreciated and often misunderstood by his neighbors and even his family. One clear morning, as Vanch was chopping wood under the shadow of a giant banyan tree, he came across a monk named Jampa, who was sitting quietly, immersed in meditation. Vanch, irritated by the interruption to his solitude, gruffly asked, "Why are you sitting so peacefully in this lonely spot?" Jampa opened his eyes, his expression serene, and smiled gently. "I find peace in the simplicity of nature," he replied. "The river and the forest teach us patience and calm, essential for dealing with life's challenges." Vanch scoffed. "Patience? Calm? My life is full of hard work and constant quarrels. How do your words help when anger clouds my days?" Jampa looked at Vanch with a deep understanding and said, "Anger is like the floods that occasionally disturb the river Ganga. They can shake the banks and muddy the waters, but eventually the river finds its calm again. Let me tell you a story." Intrigued despite himself, Vanch sat beside Jampa under the banyan tree, and the monk began his tale. Many years ago, in a distant kingdom, there was a wise king with two sons. The older prince often lost his temper, frightening those around him and distancing himself from his younger brother, who was calm and composed. The younger prince wanted to help his brother manage his temper, so he sought the wisdom of a monk. The monk told him that anger often reflects our deepest frustrations and fears. Curious, the younger prince observed his brother more closely and noticed that his anger flared most when he felt overlooked or when his efforts were not recognized. One evening, when the older prince was upset, the younger prince approached him calmly and asked, "Brother, what troubles you so deeply that peace eludes you?" This simple question opened the older prince's heart. He realized that his anger stemmed from his fear of failing as a leader. The younger prince listened and offered support. Together, they visited the monk, who taught them that true strength lies in understanding one's emotions, not in displaying anger. He explained that anger is like a fire in our minds, but understanding and kindness are like water that extinguishes that fire. The older prince learned to communicate his fears and listen to his people, transforming his leadership. The kingdom found peace, not by suppressing anger, but by understanding and addressing its root causes. Jampa turned back to Vanch, whose expression had softened during the story. "Like the elder prince, your anger is a sign, not a sentence. It speaks of your struggles, asking to be heard and understood." Moved by the story, Vanch asked in a quiet voice, "Will you teach me?" Jampa nodded. "With great willingness, Vanch. Let us walk this path of understanding together." From that day, Vanch met regularly with Jampa. He learned to be aware of his feelings and understand what his anger was trying to tell him. He practiced mindfulness, which helped him recognize when he was starting to feel angry and why. As he grew better at managing his anger, Vanch found more peace in his life. His relationships with his family and neighbors improved, and people began to seek his company again. Vanch's transformation was profound. He went from being known as the angry woodcutter to being respected as a wise man who brought peace wherever he went. The story of Vanch and Jampa spread throughout the communities along the river Ganga, inspiring others with the message that understanding and managing one's emotions could lead to a peaceful and fulfilling life. This version of the story, tailored to your specifications, provides a narrative that blends the elements of nature, personal growth, and the power of understanding in managing anger.